Yo, what's going on, everybody? It has been well over a month. I think I checked yesterday. I think it was May 5th was the last time I got the chance to record an episode of the Double Wobble Trouble podcast. But I'm back. A couple days before ALGS World Finals, and I got a full crew with me today. There really hasn't been a whole lot to talk about. That's why I've been kind of silent. Why things haven't been why I haven't been making any episodes. I don't want to sit up here and just ramble and talk about nonsense and just be constantly bitching and complaining about this game, even though this game has its issues. We all still love it. We're all still addicted. We're all still playing. But enough of me. Let's go ahead. Introduce you to the rest of the crew. I got my guy, my homeboy, my IRL homie, graduated with me. OG, man. He's been rocking with me for a little over, 11 years now, bro. It's been quite a while. We've been playing quite a few games together. We got a tournament win in Apex together. It's my guy, Matty. I'm not going to introduce a gamer tag because he constantly changes his name every single freaking chance he gets. It's something different every week. Yeah. And then, to the top left here, we got a 4X master player. I work with his dad. But I'm not that old, though. I swear, me and him are actually closer in age than me and his dad. It's crazy. But, give it up for my boy, Marquez Wright. Hey, yo, Kezzy, how y'all fellas doing today?
How
we doing? We all right?
I'm vibing. I'm doing good.
We good. Ready to talk about some Apex? Game we all love, hate, got such a love-hate relationship with.
For sure.
This is very love-hate. Very love-hate.
Very love-hate.
Yes, it is indeed. So, all right, starting out today, let's talk about some of the issues that are going on with Apex. We got some redundant ones, constant audio. I don't experience the audio issues as much as maybe you guys do and some of the other people do. I do experience them, so I know what it's like to have somebody walk up on you and get no audio or a door open or something. Octane glitch here and there, whatever it may be. I get it. But here's one of the issues I thought was really, really, really interesting that came up. Oh, I don't know why that popped up right there. But I think it was C9 Zach who tweeted out that he couldn't heal in one of the ranked games he was playing. Some people were saying it was a crafting issue, and he was saying it's not. He said it's just some random glitch to where he can do everything just fine in the game except heal. And I thought that was really interesting.
That is very interesting. Because I have not experienced it.
I have experienced it. I have.
So did it happen in a ranked game, or what was going on?
It happened in a ranked game. It happened in a pub game. So when I got off the crafter, I'm like, all right. Of course, I got a wingman. I'm like, all right, cool. I'm running around doing my chill thing, and the next minute, I'm like, yo, I can't give it into my inventory. I'm like, yo, I cannot heal.
I can't get into my inventory.
Like, I got beamed, and I'm like, yo, I can't heal. Like, I was like, I legit can't heal. Everybody's like, heal. I'm like, I cannot.
Could you not use meds? Could you shield at all, or
no?
Nothing.
You can't use
no. That's insane.
Can't use it. So the only way to get go back into the crafter and go right back out, and then it would just stop. Like,
oh my god!
I think it's a crafting issue.
You think it's a crafting issue?
I think it's a crafting issue. Like, it just makes sense because update the next minute wingman card goes into the crafter, then boom, now you can't heal off of crafting.
Like,
that's definitely a reoccurring issue. Definitely, where they drop updates to fix bugs, but it creates more bugs.
Yeah.
Like Newcastle, this recent patch they did, if you use the crafting, you try to use his ult, doesn't work. Like, he does the whole jumping animation and slamming animation, but the wall don't go up, nothing. You're just a sitting duck at that point.
Jesus.
I've seen that happen to a streamer, and then I did see the healing one on Twitter, but I haven't experienced any of that, actually.
No, yeah, I haven't, none of that is going on for me at all. I have not experienced any of that. However, I also did want to touch on a little bit, I seen that Xbox is having a lot of issues. They're having like input lag with controller. I know PC was having input lag with controllers. I thought something was going on a little bit last week with trying to use I think I was trying to throw out Horizon's Q or somebody's Q, and it was like really, really delayed when I was tapping on the friggin' the bumper, and I was like, all right, what's going on here? Don't make any sense to me.
Yeah, it's terrible. Like it was. I experienced it on the first day. I'm like, yo, I'm like, what the? I'm like, I know my connection ain't that bad, but I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, yo, this is really delayed. I
Right.
know they was dealing with delay. I forgot what else. It was another issue too. Before even like, I think I don't know. I think it has to do with the fix when they were trying to fix the game chat for like Xbox players and stuff.
Yeah, I know they were having. Yeah, that was really buggy too. I seen some tweets about that. That they couldn't. They can't communicate. They couldn't do nothing like at all. Like there's nothing going on. It's like, whew, man. Glad I got out of there.
No, it's terrible because like my friend, like he was trying to rank, but like all the homies he rank with, you know, they're on PlayStation, so he's like, yeah, so they always pick him up. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, lucky for them, of course, they have like other PC setups and stuff, so they can always like, you know, do different inputs and stuff, so they can still be in an Xbox party. But it just sucks that he can't be in the game chat itself.
Yeah. It makes it a bit of a pain in the ass to go through all that.
It's such a pain. Like,
But I know they did release some kind of update or whatever that supposedly came out and supposed to fix the input lag for the controllers. I mean,
Well,
I don't know if Go ahead, Matt. What you gonna say?
it didn't work.
It didn't work.
I'm about to say
It did a little bit. Like it's not as bad as it was, but they still have issues with input lag.
I believe it.
100%. They're not.
But how many people do you think actually play like on Series X's?
Probably not as many as we would think.
I don't like.
You have to think like people that are playing this that are playing on the Series X.
Mm-hmm.
Those are like the streamers, people that are like they're grinding the fucking game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like casual players that sit back and chill on the couch, they're probably not gonna play on a Series X. They can't afford it, or they just don't care to get it. Like they don't care that much. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it's
Right, for sure. Like I understand.
I can see it being a bigger issue on the old gen though. Definitely the input lag thing.
Input lag.
Yeah, because it's the older generation. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I can definitely just I don't know. I mean, I still have my fair share of issues playing on a Series X, but you know, I seen a tweet. I thought it was funny, but I felt kind of bad. Somebody was complaining about, you know, all the issues that they got going on with Xbox. And they said, one guy tweeted at him and said, I hate to say it to you, guy, but they ain't going to fix that shit. They're not worried about you Xbox players. I was like, oh, that's awful.
I mean,
it's awful, but it's so true.
It's awful, but it's one of those things like,
yeah, it's definitely it's not on their high priority list, and I know it's not. So it is what it is. But you know, what can you do? What can you do?
Definitely, especially with ALGS coming, like they're definitely not.
I know they just now got the private lobbies together.
They did what?
They just now got the private lobbies together because private lobbies were having a whole lot of server issues.
Yeah,
that was the problem with
They had champ scrims. They had to get it together.
Yeah.
No, like before it. No, I was in a scrim. Brett asked me to be in a scrim. It was supposed to be like 6 games. You know, it was just supposed to test out. You know, it was the beginning of like somebody, you know, hosting. So like, you know, it's their first time hosting the whole scrim and all that. So I'm like, all right, because probably later down the line, since they're like sponsors stuff, they, you know, later down the line they're gonna do it for cash prizes and all that. You know, so the next minute we like, okay, we did the first 2 games. And then now from there, it just like the lobbies kept crashing or something like that.
Yeah, that was.
People couldn't come back into it, and I'm just sitting here. I'm like, bro, this is like the Chipotle. Like,
yeah.
2 games like in 4 hours or something like that. It was just, it was ridiculous. Like, I'm like we got like 3 games in a total of 4 hours.
Jesus.
Like, I'm like, yo,
good Lord.
It's just terrible. Like, it's legit terrible. I don't understand what's going on.
Oh yeah, just yeah. There's these private scrims that I try to get into. They give out cash prizes. They shut down for like I think a week or 2 weeks or something because they couldn't host up anything. So, and we had that issue with the summer league too. The first couple weeks, so that local summer league that I'm competing in, they had to reset. I think between the first 2 weeks, you had to reset at least 5 or 6 times on either game 2 or game 3. I can't remember. But yeah, that was utterly insane. But I mean, unless there's any other issues going on that we didn't mention that you guys are dealing with, any other hidden glitches, kind of move on to a little bit thoughts into season 13. What do you guys think about Valkyrie's her heirloom?
Oh, her
I don't
heirloom
play
sucks.
her, so I don't really have too much of an opinion on it.
Me, I'm gonna be one of those haters. Be like, I dislike you, but even though it's decent. It's a decent heirloom. I'm just mad that she's getting it before some of the characters who've been there longer.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of mad at. Like, I'm like, there's certain characters who've been there longer.
I mean, you
and
see how
y'all
long
get
it took
her.
for Crypto, dude. You see how long it
I
took for
know.
Crypto to get an heirloom?
I know well, you gotta think about it. His pick rate. Well, they're probably doing it off of pick rate too. 'Cause
They
his
do.
Pick rate was low. His pick rate was low. Then they was like, let's give him an heirloom so he can get his pick rate a little bit higher. But like,
I think that what they do is they do the analytic thing where they look at the pick rates. And I think with Valkyrie, because she's had such a high pick rate, they knew people would just be like, oh yeah,
Like,
let me
yeah.
shell out my money. But
that's all they saw was the money graph for it.
yeah, but then like for some, like for Crypto, who else was it? Watson, Mirage, like they all had low pick rates. Or Rampart too, like they all had low pick rates when they dropped the heirloom. And they do that to boost the pick rates, make people play more to change up the meta a little bit. But
Change up the meta.
to me, I don't think an heirloom is going to change the meta. What's going to change the meta is them buffing and nerfing the characters that need it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of characters that need to get buff. And a lot of characters that need to get some nerfs.
I mean, especially since Newcastle's come out, I feel like Lifeline has definitely just kind of went bloop.
She's just there. The literally.
Like even with her recent buff, like it didn't do shit.
What was the
Right.
what was the buff? I don't even remember what it was.
That's the craziest thing. So here's the thing. Her ult, it just has a little bit shorter time. That's still nothing.
That's it.
Yeah,
That's all they gave her. It was a shorter.
And her drone has a range. Her drone has a little bit more healing range.
Has
And
more
that's it.
range and infinite healing.
And that's
But-
it.
The care packages, instead of shield, you get shield bats. Like it's just not like
not doing it.
nah,
Like,
it's not doing it.
it's not
they
doing it. They didn't give
Complete
her
rework over.
Yeah.
Complete rework.
yeah, because she needs a passive too and all that. Like I think like she should have like a more, instead of they don't want fast heals in the game. I think she should carry more heals, like three slots, like
Oh, so like OG days, like 3 bats, 3 med,
Yeah.
3 med kits.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like they need to give her something. Like she's a healing character for a
A
reason.
healing character.
Even fast heals, I think they should bring it back to her. Like
Like
to me, it doesn't make
Like,
like
she is
they
a-
got rid of fast heals completely, but where's the skill gap in that? Like to me, if I'm going against somebody that's fast healing, it's gonna give me more of a challenge to get better at determining what character it is and whether I should push the like if I should child the character. You know what I mean? Like, because if
Like-
I see it's a lifeline, it's like, oh, she's got a fast heal, I gotta push her. You know, like, it just bridges the skill gap better instead of, because nowadays, like with the time to kill, people just they crack you and then they let you heal and they just don't push because they're too scared. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's a lot going on. I feel it's just I feel like at this point some legends like Lifeline are pretty much only useful for arena.
Yeah.
I mean,
Pretty much.
It's just
Yeah.
they know that.
I only use her for arena. Like I like if I use her like when I'm pubbing with friends, like I do it when I'm pubbing with friends. But like she just like a arena main and that's it.
Not for scrims or rank.
Yeah.
So, but let's get into the juicy topic here. Season 13 in general. Let's talk about Newcastle. Let's talk about how you did in the first split. Let's talk about where you're at in the second split. And let's talk about how you feel about ranked in season 13 in general. Like, I mean, I personally, like I told you guys off stream, I didn't feel like it was going to be that bad. But I mean, yeah, this is definitely probably the hardest ranked playlist I've ever played in any game, period. Like, even harder than Siege.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree. I mean, I've never played Siege, but it's definitely a lot more difficult than some things. I'd say even like ranked or league play on BO2, like that was pretty sweaty, but this is pretty sweaty. This ranked system is I like that they upped the RP cap or whatever it is, and then they took away like 10 points or whatever. Like they tried to even it out for everybody because everybody's complaining about losing so much RP and pred and all that.
They're losing even more now. Shit. Like
Yeah.
dead ass, they losing even more now, bro. Like they losing like 100 plus, bro. They get into a match. It's like what 110, like some crazy freaking shit. I'm like, yo, what is this? Like, I think I tuned into I want to say it was like Noko stream or it might have been Verholz's stream, and I just seen like negative 110. I'm like, what is this?
No, that shit's crazy.
Oh, like, yo, I'd log off. That flabbergasted, bro. That shit had me like, oh no. I have no aspiration to reach pred.
like the way, okay, so first split is like, okay, I get what they was doing. I really liked what they were doing with the system and all that, but it came down to the point of the matchmaking and the distributing of the ranks at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Like for PC people, it's like you hit plat, welcome to pred lobbies. Like
Pretty much.
you hit diamond, welcome to pred lobbies. That's what it was for PC. Like console system has a lot more in the community. Like, okay, you had actual plat lobbies and then diamonds. It is sometimes
Right.
Yep.
but no, like once you hit like a certain high rank, PC people wasn't playing because all the pros were running the high ranks. You literally had all your pros and your like people who's correct and good at the game. Like, of course, like even though you get to those ranks, paper, I was like, you're good at the game. Like, yeah, but still, I'm like, I'm facing pro teams. Like, you have to realize that, like, you're facing pro teams at moments. There's moments where you're just getting the game. You're like, how did I end up in like Imperial House game? Like, you're like,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Definitely.
It's the matchmaking. The matchmaking.
I think
is terrible at this game now. Really terrible.
I think at one point last split we ran into ACU and whoever he was playing with. I just remember ACU running into him, seeing his in-game name, and then I seen a TikTok literally like an hour later, and it was hitting with that name and the same clan tag and everything. I'm like, oh no, we just went against ACU. Like it's crazy. Like we weren't even that high. Like we were probably silver or gold, and we're playing against ACU. Like it's crazy.
I'm saying, and the matchmaking is becoming terrible.
It is.
Like, I don't understand how the system cannot say, hey, like, yo, match up with, like, hey, these are people are gold. Like, of course, like how they do the gold. Okay, they put it with gold, silver. That makes sense. The whole bottom half makes sense. I don't understand how they can't do with the plat. Even they should just do like plat sometimes with the diamond. Like,
Yeah,
Right.
I agree, 100%.
Like they should do it like that. But there should be no reason where I'm plat and I immediately jump to plat lobbies.
Yeah,
That makes no sense. Like,
and I think part of the problem is it's
I
like,
understand, like,
go ahead.
like I understand like having a challenge. Like, don't get me wrong, I understand having a challenge, but it's just like that's just instantly like jumping into pred. Like, jeez, bro.
No, yeah, it's like, I guess he says just get better.
Oh man.
Well, listen. I agree, and here's the thing. Like, I understand they wanted to make the rank system hard because it kind of was pretty easy to get to master before they made all these adjustments. You kind of just it's a little bit of a pain in the ass to grind through diamond. I never really took the time to do it. I would just kind of solo queue through rank, get to diamond, and then I'd pretty much be grinding arena, or I'd just be playing in scrims or whatever. I wouldn't really spend too much time in the public lobbies or the rank lobbies or all that. But so I get it. They wanted to make it tougher, but it's like now it's like a grind, and and it'd be cool. Like, if you want people to grind, you want people to spend the time on the game, feel rewarded when they get to that master level, when they get to that even diamond level, I guess, at this point. When you get to that diamond level, you get to that master level, you get to that pred level. I get it. You want people to feel rewarded. However, there are people like myself, Everybody pretty much in this podcast has got a full-time job or does some other stuff outside of Apex. We don't necessarily have time to dedicate 8 to 10 hours a day to grind Apex. Because with the way this new system is set up, you're going to fail. You're going to fail quite a bit. And it costs like double, triple to get into these lobbies now. So a couple back-to-back losses, man, and you're losing in gold, a couple back-to-back losses, you know, you're getting up to like 75, losing 75 RP.
Yeah, off the first split, yeah.
And it's like
it was 2 minus like 48s off the bat. Like it was diamond. Like they literally had diamonds, negative, and gold.
I know.
So
it's crazy.
You literally drop off.
No, but however, like, you know, listen, like I get it and it's cool. Like I said, I understand. It's just, you know, I'm thankful. I'm happy that, you know, they've increased to where, you know, your kills don't just cap out or whatever. You can keep getting as many kills as you want, and it keeps going up as you place higher. And which I think the fact that your RP should go up as you know, stay alive longer and you place higher within every lobby. I agree to that. That is what should happen. But it's just, I think the RP cost, I think, could be adjusted just a little bit. I don't think it should be like negative 60 in plat lobbies and shit.
They did fix it where it's not like that now for this split, but it's still, the matchmaking is still terrible at moments. They're still terrible at matchmaking. Like,
absolutely.
So you could still probably get like even random moments. There's like you end up in a diamond game still.
What's up, dude?
Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we got my guy FaZe Maze joining us all late and stuff. What's going on, bro? How you feeling today?
I'm feeling great. How are y'all feeling?
Oh, just fine.
It's great. You know?
We're chilling. We're just jumping into we just finished up with talking about some of the issues going on with Apex, the redundant issues, and then, you know, some of these new glitches coming out. Apparently being able to, if you touch the crafter or something, you can't heal, like no shielding, no meds, nothing. Kezz has experienced it. Me and Matt have not, so but apparently C9 Zach has also experienced it once or twice. He doesn't seem to think it's a crafting issue, but everybody and their mama agrees that it is a crafting issue because it only happens when you touch the crafter.
Jeez.
But
they ain't fixed Loba's bracelet either, have they?
No.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Well, I mean, we were playing with a kid earlier today, and he seemed to be okay with her.
It depends.
Yeah.
No, the game is dependable with her. There's some games I load in, I'm
It's
like,
like 50-50, bro. It's like a flip of the coin if it works or not.
Yeah.
You literally yell, "Don't break, don't break, don't break!" And you hear that shit.
Right.
You're like, "Damn, I'm about to die."
Oh, absolutely, Gazzy. I completely agree, bro. I completely agree. I understand. Like I said, like I was telling everybody, I agree. The rank system needed a rework, and I'm okay with. I'm completely okay with them increasing the RP it takes to get to certain places. No longer being, you know, 10. It's no longer 10K to get into master. I'm okay with that. And the fact that
the 15K to masters, like, I really like that.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm completely on board with that. And they and now that they've increased the cost, I agree they needed to increase the cost a little bit to get into these matches. I just feel like they increased it by a lot. And
when 80% of your player base is in the second highest ranking of the game, something's wrong.
Well, absolutely, I agree. I even looked at I think Hal was the one that tweeted out the statistics of this past split.
80% was in bronze.
I know, I seen that, and then it said like 1.12% and higher were diamond or higher. So I was like, "Ooh, I'm in the 1.12%."
It's crazy.
I mean, even though that's probably like, you know, out of the Apex has like what, millions of players at least. Out of that, it's probably
easily.
like, you know, like what, 3,000, 4,000. You know, 3,000, 4,000 players, but still, you know.
Have y'all heard about No Apex August going around? A lot of people are boycotting.
I did see that. I seen that tweet.
I seen that, but here's the only way that's gonna work.
I don't think it's gonna work.
It's not gonna work. This is the only way you can make No Apex August work. Don't give it your money.
Hey,
don't buy the cosmetics.
But dude, they're already chilling because they probably made millions off that new Valkyrie just then. Like they're chilling for a good month or two.
But yeah,
I mean, God knows how many people bought the Valkyrie loom. like immediately. So, and it's EA. Where I mean, it's not like EA's.
Absolutely, Gazzy. Completely agree, bro.
No, if he on a 50-inch video, bro, he has to go to pro.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's got to be 50-inch TV. Probably shouldn't be playing. 50-inch TV probably should not be sitting here playing no Master Pred. No, I 100% agree with that. Like I'm saying, like, you know, like,
Mike and Kezz and like, yeah, I get it.
but
Like, there's some people who could still hit those high ranks because they're actually good at the game.
right.
It just, like, I see they're trying to distribute it in a way, but it's just like I said, it's just the matchmaking making it distributing hard for the game.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, I agree that maybe pushing towards, they want everybody to be playing a little bit more ALGS style format. They want people to be like strategizing and, you know, trying to live longer. There's more teams alive in like rounds 3 and 4 now, and I'm fine with that. Like, I get it's chaos and it's chaotic, and when I'm in game, I'm probably cussing and screaming and freaking out because it's driving me insane. But I'm completely on board with it. Like, I'm 1,000% on board with it.
I mean, that's Apex, man. I mean, I've played VR for years, and there have never been end games so insane and so crazy like ALGS and Apex. I've never seen anything like it.
Right.
It's the most insane games I ever played, but it's so fun.
It's a blast.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
Absolutely.
It's a blast in there. It's a blast watching. It's just awesome all the way around.
You go back, because when you go back to it, you like, what the fuck just happened?
Right, yeah. It's complete chaos. It's utter chaos.
And if you think about it, like, way back when they first started the ranked system, back in Season 2, like, it wasn't like that at all until, you know, there started becoming more competitive shit with it, but just to see it go from where it was in Season 2 to now, it's insane.
Oh, absolutely.
How differently it's played.
Oh, absolutely. How different Apex is played completely. Because back then, people weren't even playing on the 100-plus FOV.
No, they weren't. There wasn't as many PC players as there is now. I think back then there was only a select handful. Like, you could probably count them on your hands and feet. Like, I mean, obviously there's more than that, but there wasn't as many as there is nowadays. That's for sure.
So I guess my next question for you guys is Storm Point or World's Edge?
World's Edge. World's Edge. I like World's Edge better.
Which one's better ranked?
I have grown fond of Storm Point ranked.
I hated Storm Point for the longest, and I really, really played it a lot when it was like a week of it at the start of Season 13, and it really started growing on me.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it since in those high rank lobbies, I'm sorry, I was getting grief by every single charge rifle demon, and then I'm just like, it's just you literally like that, and also I had to change my main. Like, I know like most people see me as a Ryzen, but I had to literally switch to Valk, due for certain rotations of like how teams are playing, and then how I was getting grief with charge rifles out of everywhere. There's certain areas you're just a walking target. Some of the zones they have set up. There's this one zone I can still remember so vividly. It's literally just an open field, and it's like 2 or 3 rocks, and that's it. Like, the rest is just open field.
Yikes.
Like, what the fuck I'm supposed to do with that?
I'm gonna go a little.
If you're not playing Gibby, you're not playing Gibby in Newcastle for those zones. You're just hoping for the best. You're just hoping that teams don't grief you.
Do we think Gibby is going to be the highest picked legend, or is it going to be Valk again?
For World's Edge, or
for just ALGS, just flat out.
Probably still, I would imagine still Gibby.
It's probably
wasn't it Valk last time?
It depends on like I said, if it's
they're both picked so much. I think it's kind of. I mean, unless somebody can find the statistics, I don't really like. They're both picked so much. You see at least one on every team, so.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. But right now, I've been seeing like Gibby, Valks, and like Sears. Like,
I don't know how I feel about Valk. I've said that for the longest. I think Valk was bad for the game.
You think Valk was bad for the game?
Yeah, like just cause like it pretty much just takes everything out, everything like analytical about a VR. Cause you know, good players, get to like learn ring and like where it's gonna shrink to maybe, and then like you got to play around that. And like be a couple steps ahead. Valkyrie, you can just be like, oh, circle is 5,000 meters away that way. Oh, let's just ult 5,000 meters in the sky and fly there.
Well, listen.
And then, like,
I'm gonna go a little crazy here, not really crazy, but a little off the meta, so to speak. World's Edge now I feel like is a very good map. When it first came out, season 3, I was not a fan of World's Edge at all. Hated it. I wanted back on Kings Canyon immediately day one. I did not like World's Edge at all. I was excited. I was so excited to play it because it was a new map, but I did not like it. And I didn't even like it after the first rework, but now that they've added like Countdown and some Lava Fisher and all this other stuff, listen, it's a great map now. It's beautiful. It is. Stormpoint's okay. I like Stormpoint better for ranked than I do Kings Canyon. I love Kings Canyon, but just nostalgia.
The bigger
but I just don't.
Work better for ranked,
but I just don't like. But I just don't like. I don't like. My number one's always gonna be Olympus.
Really?
I love Olympus. I love Olympus ranked. I love. What was that? Was it season 9 that Olympus was in rank? Was that what season it was, or was it season 10?
It was in ranked for.
Or was it 11?
It was obviously season 7 because they just introduced it.
Absolutely agree, Gazzy. Then he brings Skulltown back.
It wasn't 9 too because they made the changes with Valk.
And Olympus, even before they added what they did to Olympus, I still thought Olympus was a great map because Olympus has a lot of spots you can drop and get decent loot. At least I feel like there's a lot. Like you got Bonsai, Power Grid, the giant Wraith portal. I can't remember off the top of my head what that one is called right now. The Rift. There we go. The Rift. You got what was the arena map on there? There was an arena map on Olympus.
Fight Night. No,
not Fight Night. The other
actually, no,
it was an arena map and then they took it out.
Oh, I know exactly what
They took it out.
Was it like Mirage Voyage, something like that?
No. It was it's the map. It normally has crafting over there. It's
the one with like the towers, right?
Yeah. They normally show like when you go to play on Olympus. That's the part of the map that you see. But yeah, it was one of the first arena maps, and they took it out before they brought in arena rank. But you got that area. You got the carrier. You got what's right next to carrier? What is that called? That town right next to it. Not heading towards Fight Night, but the opposite direction. You got that area. Then you do got Fight Night. You got that whole area right there. And then you've got estates. You got so many different areas to drop in Olympus.
POIs.
Yes.
A lot of POIs.
A lot. And that's why
That's
why I love Olympus. That's why I love it. That's why I've always loved it. I know that's and it's kind of a take that makes you think a little bit. Like, people can't really, there are some people that hate Olympus, and I get it. I still think Olympus dropping season 7 is the best season ever because it brought us the best map ever and the best legend in the game, in my opinion, still. But, I just, it makes you think. Like, before they think about it, before they did all this rework to World's Edge and added all these different things to it, how many POIs did World's Edge really have? Because think about it, OG map didn't have Dome. You didn't have Dome. You didn't have Countdown. You didn't have any of the other parts of World's Edge that look similar to Countdown. You had none of those. You didn't have Thermal Station, no Lava Fisher, no none of that.
It was pretty bare.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. Like most of it was just traveling time, like going from one POI to the other, just middle open fields and mountains and shit. Like,
and Cap City was like the only place to drop.
Change it. Yeah, they had to change it because, like, even though when they introduced it, a lot of people liked it. Like, in order for it to work as a competitive map and for like ranked, they had to change it. They had to give it more POIs.
Absolutely.
You can't have people in ranked and in scrims and then like comp and shit just all dropping cap. You know what I mean? Like, it's just not. They wouldn't have worked out that well.
Nope, not at all. And that's why I just, like I said, day one Olympus dropped, I wanted to go right back to Kings Canyon. I was already annoyed with it.
Yeah, World's Edge is just not. I don't.
But like I said, I give it its credit now. I give it its credit now. Like, to me, it's a good map now.
It's a really good map.
It's a good map now.
It's a good map.
Like, they've done a lot of rework to it, and it's great.
No, it's a really great raid map too. Like I really like it.
Storm Point, Storm Point is massive, and
It's so massive for the worst zones.
yeah,
ever.
yeah, it's
Like,
it's
it's like, come
massive,
on.
and yeah, the zones I've had a few of the zones that have what's that what's that middle area called where there's the big slope? You just got like a gigantic hill.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
exactly what you're talking about.
I've had a few, I've had quite a few end circles there, and those drive me insane.
Remember, we only had like a rock to cover.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
it.
yeah,
That was it.
yeah.
That was
It-
it.
it's a
Just one
co-
rock.
You gotta hug
Just
that rock.
one-
Pray,
Just
pray,
hug-
pray on
hug the
dear
rock. That's
life,
all we got
man.
right now. Like this
Ooh.
insane. Hug the rock wise like 10 zones in that one. Like it just made no sense.
Mm-mm.
Just
Drive me
made
insane.
no sense. I was like, okay, we gotta hug one rock where it's still like 8 other squads in here. That's so annoying. That was so annoying.
Have you guys played Newcastle much?
You know I have.
Yes, I have witnessed you playing him quite a bit.
Nah.
I played for him like just see what he's like. Like he's cool.
Got to experiment a little bit. Yeah, I definitely don't think he's going to be like a Gibraltar replacement or... I mean, he pretty much already phased Lifeline out, but...
I think that Newcastle is a very balanced legend. Like, he released balanced. Like, there's nothing they need to change to him.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, obviously, as time goes on, they'll have to change shit, but right now, no. Right now, he's pretty balanced, I think.
yeah,
I've seen him more in arenas than anything, so he's more like a more mobile Gibby, with that moving shield and
I could see that.
being
I
able
could
to,
see
like,
that.
move and res your teammates in arenas. That's huge. I've seen him all over the place in arenas, but not much in BR.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. 100%. I agree with that. That's... I haven't seen him
I
that
don't
much in
know.
arena,
His-
but I could definitely see that. Like, I could definitely see how that's 1,000% useful.
I do like playing him. His kit is very... It's fun, I would
Got a good
say.
personality too.
Yeah, his voice lines are pretty cool. I don't know. There's a lot of things you can do with him. Like, I don't know. He's pretty cool to me. I like playing him. And I feel like I should play him more because I'm pretty good at him.
I understand the first half of what you're saying, Kezzy, but what do you mean making it completely better?
So what do you mean? Just saying like instead of a season where everybody's like where they focus on cosmetics and all that, just don't even drop no content.
Like,
really.
yeah, I get that part. Don't drop any content. But are you saying like where this entire season where they just focus completely on trying to fix bugs?
Fix the game. Yeah, fix the game.
Okay.
Literally just take a season just to fix the whole game.
I've been thinking about that. But I know they have. I know I read a report a while ago that said that they had Legends planned out till about season 14 or 15, I think. So maybe
And,
after
like,
that.
leakers are like another huge problem in this game. Like nothing is a surprise anymore. Like
It's not.
this season, it was supposed to be
It's
like a
kinda like
big,
Call of-
massive cliffhanger that, like, oh my gosh, Newcastle was Bangalore's brother or whatever, and like we knew it like 5 months before the season actually dropped, and we're like, okay, this isn't a surprise now.
It's just, I don't even know. Like it feels like it's Call of Duty at this moment where you can just get leaked the next day. You're like, oh okay. You're like, just wait for the leaks, man. You're like, wait for leaks.
Pretty much. Yeah, I agree.
I know
I agree.
leaks.
I
I know
agree.
leaks gonna I know leaks is always gonna happen, but it's just one of those things. It's like
It still drives you
I-
insane.
like
I've never seen the leaks like last season though. I mean, like they couldn't
Yeah.
do anything without being like, oh, this is gonna happen next week.
Yeah,
They
miners.
couldn't do anything, man. And I really don't think,
Apex has a lot of data miners.
and I don't think cosmetics are content. Like when I'm talking content, I'm talking like new legends, of course, new guns, like new map changes. I mean, like slapping a skin on your Wraith or Gibraltar is not content. Like, I mean, yeah, like I don't think it's content anyway.
No, I can agree. There's been a that's I think maybe taking a season off of creating legends and doing all that stuff, and maybe taking a season and focusing on the bugs and trying to address certain issues. I quite frankly don't ever think the audio issue is going to be resolved. I'm not really sure if that can ever be resolved because this game, there's just so much going on now. There's so many different characters in a lobby. You know, there's so many different ultimates, tacticals, weapons being used, and just over. And with the movement, too, on top of it, because, I mean, the one thing we can't take away from this game is it's probably got the most fluid movement of any FPS game out right now.
Nah, bro. It's definitely the best BR today. Like
with movement, like I just like it was so weird where like at certain moments it was literally thinking about nerfing the movement. I'm like, why would you nerf the thing that's making the game right now?
Yeah, that's pretty much what makes the game go around. Is all that movement. That's the greatest thing in the game is the movement, how fluid it is. So, but yeah, just I think this first split was okay for season 13. There's some things. There's some minor things I change. I mean, I'm happy that World's Edge is back for the second split. It's a little bit better of a map to play than Stormpoint. I just personally think that maybe the RP costs need to be nerfed down just a little bit. Not much, but just a little bit to make it a little more reasonable. Everything else I think is pretty much fine with the rank system. I mean, yeah, it sucks getting put in. You make it to plat, and all of a sudden you're in pred lobbies because none of them can get out of plat either. So it's rough, but
it's just crazy. But even though you're plat, you still recognize as a good player, though.
Yeah.
Because you saw how the percentages, like the percentage of like even like from
at this point, yeah,
8%. Say if you was plat, you was literally like top 10 or tip 8% of the world or something like that.
Yeah.
At this point, yeah. I mean, which is cool. It gives those players the recognition and lets them know, like, hey, you guys are like actually like, you are actually good at this game. Like
good.
you made it back to this.
Still gotta figure out, yeah, you're good at this game, but you still gotta figure out what to.
You just got you just got to get better. You got to put more time in. You gotta take a couple days off work and grind 12 hours each of those days if you want to get to where you want to be.
And like another thing about content, like I hate like this season, we got was it just like one storm change to like Stormpoint with like the beast that got killed in like the cinematic event or whatever? Like, and I hate to compare this BR to this BR, but man, Fortnite has never been scared to just bust up their map. They've done it for 50. I mean, you enter a season and it's like you're in like a new world. Like there are 20 new POIs, and like Apex gives us one, and like. I don't know about you guys, but I've only landed there like once or twice.
On the beast itself? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, down beast? Yeah. I don't think I've landed there a handful of times.
I think I landed there once, and I was like, let's check it out. And then it was just that. And I was like, all right, cool.
But just kind of transitioning into the next topic, I wanted to talk about this a little bit today, kind of get my last couple thoughts on it, and then I was going to leave it alone at that point. Because you just reminded me because of Fortnite. We've got ALGS World Championship coming up around the corner. Games start tomorrow. The seeding games, the pool play games. I'm probably gonna miss the first half of it, but I will be home from work in time to watch the later half of it. But since you brought it up, Fortnite, I don't really care what anybody has to say about this particular subject. I don't think my opinion is necessarily better than anybody else's, but being somebody that's been around esports for, I'll just like really like, I can say probably my whole life, but ever since I started competing at like 8 years old, going to my first local tournaments and stuff, but like really like traveling hardcore and like being in the in-depth of it, I'll say about 11 years. It is never the game developer's responsibility to make sure that people that are competing in the esport of the game they developed have funding and have their travel expenses covered. We touched on this subject a while ago.
Yeah.
Me and Maze have on the podcast a while ago, and I even touched on it on Twitter. But I had some time to think about it, a little while to think about it, and I understand why people were upset. I understand why people were bothered. It was a bad move on EA's part to even supply any funding to any team, period, if you weren't going to be able to fund necessarily all of them. But I know this did come from Fortnite because I think Fortnite had started doing some stuff like that. I think Epic Games started doing some things like that for the teams, which is cool. It's great that they decided to do that. But I feel like it's created this entitlement with a lot of these pro players, a lot of these streamers, and a lot of these people that really like have not been around esports that long. Like Apex is their first introduction into esports, like their first real like deep dive into it. So they don't fucking get it. Like, it's not the game developer's responsibility to make sure those players have funding and stuff. To me, I mean, this may make me sound like an asshole, but I mean, fuck it, dude. Like, what is the point of an esports organization? What's the point of Optic, Envy, 100 Thieves, TSM, Cloud9, CLG, Elevate, you know, any other organizations you can think, Luminosity? Like, what is the point of these organizations? What is the point of them if they're never going to have to provide funding for their teams to get to places? That is the organization's responsibility. If you don't 100%. Have funding and money, and now you could get away with it back when I was traveling for COD, back in, 2011 to, we'll say, 2016, you could get away with it then, joining COD esports and not having any funding and just picking up a random team and promising them, like, yeah, eventually we will get funding once you guys, like, place high and, you guys place high, we'll be able to get sponsors in and et cetera, et cetera. We'll be able to get the funding. But, nowadays you can't get away with that. Don't join esports if you don't have any type of funding. Don't join esports at all. And it's not a profitable business either.
No.
Very, very razor thin line, like the movie theaters. Very razor thin line. You are more than likely not going to make a profit off of it. So if you don't have money to throw away and you're just not in this for the passion, I wouldn't even join. Don't even think about it. Sorry that some of those players couldn't be able to make it to the Sweden playoffs, Split 2 playoffs. Because of that, a couple teams got cut because of that. But the organization that you guys are playing for, they should have never even picked you up in the first place. Yeah, they never should have wasted your time if they didn't have the funding to do it. I'm sorry that some of these other countries out there, they don't have the finances and income like that, but you just don't get involved in or go acquire sponsors. Like, I don't know what to really tell you.
You don't see NFL giving all their teams a ton of money. No, like they say, okay, you have a franchise, you pay for that franchise.
Right.
And that's it. And if you can't, you don't have a franchise.
Never once can I remember Activision, Infinity Ward, Treyarch, Sledgehammer funding teams to get to COD events. Never once have I don't remember ever Bungie funding any Halo or 343. Definitely not 343 funding any Halo team to get to an event ever, period. I don't ever remember any of this stuff. So for the people like Hal that have a massive platform that are sitting here that were just going completely nuts with the tweets about it, like, dude, your entitlement is showing big time. You got to chill the fuck out. Like, you got to chill, bro. Because it's not EA's responsibility, bro. EA's responsibility. Here's what's EA's responsibility. EA and Respawn's responsibility is if they're going to get involved in esports and create a scene for Apex. Here's what their responsibility is. To provide a venue, to provide a good, safe environment venue, COVID or no COVID, pre-COVID, post-COVID, to provide a safe venue, provide all the working necessary equipment, meaning that could be computers, monitors, headset, mix amps. Not the headsets themselves, but the mix amps. Most of the players play on M&K, so provide the keyboards, all that stuff, unless the players want to bring their own keyboards and own mouses, because I know everybody's got different DPI settings and things of that nature or whatever. But that's what their responsibility is. Oh, and also the prize pool as well. Provide a decent prize pool.
Right.
Their responsibility isn't to get these players out there, man. That's the organization's responsibility. Whoever they're playing for, whoever they're contracted to, that's their responsibility. I mean, I'll open it up to you guys. You guys can kind of state what you want, but that's just kind of how I feel on it.
Like, you right on that. It's just like that, and then also they should be focusing if the game is esports ready. Like, for like,
I agree with that. Yeah.
Like, that's the one thing that I'm like kind of worried about. That's like, with all these glitches and stuff. Like, that's one thing I'm kind of worried about for this competitive scene. Like,
100%.
Like,
If they
I'm really
can't, if
worried
they
about
can't
that.
get the glitches and bugs together, like there's a potential it could bleed into comp. And that's not a good thing.
No, not at all. That's where
not
that's where the
at all.
focus needs
That's
to
what
be.
that's why I'm so worried about, like, 'cause
Especially the
like,
healing thing.
we all like, right. We all want to watch our favorite teams, duke it out and all that stuff, and see some really great Apex. But still, it's gonna be terrible if you just keep seeing the glitches like
Yeah.
during the game. Like that's
Lobby resets, it drives people insane, takes away from the momentum, and momentum is a big thing in esports. It's a big thing in a lot, and just about, and even in traditional sports too, but especially esports.
And another thing, like you get your friend that has never watched or played Apex to sit down and try to get him into this, and he sees all these bugs and things going wrong, and he's like, "Bro, I don't want to play this garbage."
Yeah, right. Like,
It's
not
trash.
interested in that at all. So, but I mean, yeah, I just wanted to touch on that a little bit, kind of get my final thoughts on that out. It's just, I think this entitlement's got to slow down. Like, I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
I'm all for people getting what they're worth, especially when it comes to IRL stuff, jobs, and things like that. Our generation, Kezz generation, we're not settling. We're not settling for this BS. Spending 40 years in a fucking place to be paid the same and treated like shit and all this and that. We're doing better for ourselves, absolutely. But there are certain levels of responsibility that don't fall on the game developer, and that is funding teams to get to their esports event.
Yeah, that should not be falling on them. That is an org job.
That's the orgs. It's not.
That is an org job.
So
to me, it wouldn't make sense to even have the org in the first place. Then, if EA is just like, okay, we're going to pay for everything,
right?
Because then that's EA's team.
Right.
Pretty much.
And everybody plays for EA, Like,
Right.
So, but moving on to ALGS, final topic of today. I'm gonna go ahead and have you guys had a chance? I don't know, Kezz and Matt, if you watch Sweden at all. But
I watched all of it pretty much.
Okay. But
I've seen a little bit of it.
I'm gonna go ahead and read off the 40 teams that managed to qualify for this in order. We got Reignite, the Sweden champs, at number 1. Team Unite, right behind them. Team Liquid, Optic Gaming, TSM, NRG, Luminosity, all 3 through 7 are all NA. Then we go to 80 Raccoon. It's an APOC North. 9 is Team Empire. They're from EMA region. Cloud9, NA, Game With, APOC North. Alliance, EMA. APOC South, another team at 13. Team Burger, Elevate. GMT Sports, 100 Thieves. Ascend, Team Singularity. Sudoraku? Sudoraku? Okay. I was pronouncing that right. I wasn't butchering it too bad. Dreamfire, V3 Vega, Players, Odic, Fennel, Space Station, Element 6, Reject, 4-7, IG International, Suave, Phoenix Team, Crazy Raccoon. I have no idea how to pronunciate. This team is in 33rd. Sorry. I have no idea how to pronunciate their name. They are from APOC South. Fura, Scars.
Yeah.
Furia, yep. 110 IQ. Is that what that is? 100 IQ? I'm not sure. In 36th. Orthros. Orthros is that the next team. Orthros Fang. XO, E8, and Zeta Division. So tallying it up, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Looks like we got about 9 teams from NA, 9, 10 teams from NA. Quite a few from APOC North. Quite a few from APOC North.
APOC North is killing it.
And APOC South got quite a few in there too. EMA's got a few in there. Sorry we couldn't. Big shout out to Shiv. Man couldn't get in there. Felt awful. Wanted to see Shiv in ALGS, but unfortunately he couldn't make it through.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess what I want to talk about is, just kind of break it down of how this gonna work. And thank God they came over to the United States, or at least on the East Coast at a time, because oh my God, trying to watch that Sweden event That shit was horrific with those freaking start times. But group stage is going to be played tomorrow starting at 1 p.m. You've got round 8. You got groups A versus B, C versus D. Excuse me. 1 p.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, starts at 10 a.m. PT, 6 p.m. BST, 1 a.m. SGT, JST, 2 a.m., and BRT, 2 p.m. And then starting at 6:15 p.m., I'll be able to make it home and start the watch party for this round. Will be A versus C and B versus D. That'll be at 6:15 EST, 3 p.m. PT, 11:15 p.m. BST, SGT. It'll be 6:15 a.m. JST, 7:15 a.m. and BRT, 7:15 p.m. Friday, they have the group stage / bracket play. It'll be the final round of pool play. You'll have A versus D and B versus C. Starting at 1 p.m. All the rest of the times follow through. You guys know what it is. You guys can look it up. 1 p.m. EST, and then losers round 1 will start at 6:15 p.m. EST. Saturday, you'll have the first round. You'll have the first round of the winners bracket at 1 p.m. and then losers round 2 at 6:15 p.m. And Sunday, the finals, match point finals, will begin at 5 p.m. Apex, Respawn, they have done a nice job of listing out all the teams. The link is on the Play Apex Twitter account. Just go through some of the previous tweets, you'll be able to find it. They have all the times listed, and if your time is not listed on there, they recommend that you go ahead and go to Time Converter on Google. Type in whatever your time zone is, and type in Eastern Time, and it'll be able to convert it right over for you. So, yeah, what are you guys thinking? Not necessarily that who's going to take it, but what team have you got your eye on, per se?
I personally have my eye on Furia, to be honest. They're killing it. His Watson, he's like proved to be a very good player.
You've been watching the scrims?
Yeah, I've been watching the scrims. They haven't even played scrims because they played, I think, 2 weeks. They played 2 scrims, and they kept dominating, and they just were like, "No, we don't need to play scrims. We're good." And I've been watching them play ranked. Like they're so cracked at the game. Like their team chemistry, like the way that they play, their game mechanics, their game sense. Like it's insane. I feel like they're definitely. I don't think that they would necessarily be on top, but they will definitely make it the finals, 100%. TSM too. TSM, they're doing really good in scrims. They're on top of scrims.
Yeah, I've seen that. TSM has been stepping up a little bit more.
They've always been consistent for me. I don't know why. It's just that, and then like you said, for his Watson is just insane. Like he's insane at the game.
Yeah, I don't get it, but he is.
Like he's so insane. Like his IQ of the game is so high.
Yeah,
it's
like,
crazy.
It's like he is insane. Like players like his Watson is insane. Varhos, like even though he's young enough, I feel like he's going to have his moment too. Like
definitely.
As he's just insane. That I think another team is like to watch out is NRG too, because they always been consistent.
Yeah,
NRG has always been consistent too.
Or even Rig, those Rig Knight, they did. Really
Rig. Rig Knight kind of
they
kind of came out of nowhere for me. I didn't even know who they were, and they just came out and they won the whole thing. So that was definitely.
This time they're gonna have Jim Burton. So I feel like they're definitely gonna be up there in the finals, 100% too.
Definitely 2 teams I'm keeping my eye on. A little bit of favoritism towards the ENA slightly, but definitely 100 Thieves. I'm going to be keeping my eye on 100 Thieves for sure. The boys did okay in Sweden. I felt like they could have done a lot better, but, it is what it is. And then NRG, of course, definitely. NRG definitely had their moments, and they showed out. But they got to be consistent. They got to win those games, and they need to win those games. But
right.
I'm definitely keeping my eye on both of those. What about you, Maze?
I I'm not sure. I do know. I really think TSM is going to come hungry because they in like the past 4 or 5 they placed podium almost every single time, and they placed kind of down to their standards. Like they placed like fourth or fifth. So I think they're gonna say, all right, go back to the drawing board, come back, and do what TSM's been doing for years in Apex.
Yeah, absolutely. They've definitely kind of fallen off, but I feel like the competition just in Apex in general has just grown so much. Like it's just this at an amateur level, like for me, or at a pro level for them. Like everybody's just a whole lot better than what they used to be. So it's just not quite as easy to dominate. And I think sometimes some of these top players need to take a reality check, and they need to realize that like competition is very, very. It's great to have passion. It's great to be to love what you do. And it's great to want to put in all this time and effort to figure it out. But you got to realize, like, there are other people out there doing exactly that. So if it doesn't go your way, obviously you're going to be upset. But you got to realize, like, man, the competition is just so high now. So high. So.
I think that also, I love Hal as a player. And he's so talented at the game, but he definitely, like, I don't understand how he still gets away with the things that he says and the things that he does, but I don't know. It's passion, but he's super entitled. And he thinks I think in his head, he does think like he's the top player. Like nobody could beat him.
Oh, absolutely. That's the attitude you got to carry, though. That's absolutely the attitude you got to carry.
That's why I like how he's just the passion of it.
Don't they?
Yeah,
like, what do they call him?
He's got to realize these other players, man.
They call him something. I can't remember. But he's like
CEO.
The CEO of Apex.
Yeah. Everybody's just like the CEO has spoken. And I'm like, oh shit. Hal, I'm like, what he done now?
Yeah.
You see that on your timeline, someone like the CEO has spoken. You be like, oh shit, what is it now?
What did he say? What did he say now? Yeah. I personally wouldn't. I probably wouldn't put up with some of the things he says. Just me personally.
No.
Me personally, I wouldn't put up with it, and we'd have to definitely have quite a few conversations about it.
I think that TSM head-to-head with Furia, that's going to be very interesting to see how that outcome would play.
Mm-hmm.
Just because his Watson and Hal were beefing. So it's like...
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't say it wasn't like terrible beef. It wasn't like they were dogging on each other. But it was like... Watson's like, nah, dude, I'm better than you. Like, I'm going to hold number one, and you're just going to chill. Like, you're not going to get number one. And after he didn't get number one pred. His Watson held number one pred for, like half of this first split.
Like, he did. He was holding that, like...
Yeah.
That was insane. Like, it was just days where he's like, yep. Like, another, like, 4 games or something. Like, it's just, like, so stupid. You're like, yep, another day of getting, like, 2K RP or something like that. I'm like, damn, bro. I'm like, all right, bro. Like, do you believe?
That's why I'm excited to see Furia in ALGS. I feel like they're definitely gonna come out strong.
Just kind of wrap up this topic a little bit. Let me list out the prize pool for this. So we got a $2 million prize pool for this, in case anybody missed that. The how it's split up. First place, $500,000. Second place, $300,000. Third place, $200K. Fourth place, $160K. Fifth place, $120K. Sixth, $90K. Seventh, $72K. Eighth, $60K. Ninth, $48K. 10th, $36K. 11th, $24K. 11th and 12th are both, or 11th, 12th, and 13th, or 11th? Excuse me. 11th through 15th, $24K. 16th through 20th is $18K. 22nd or 21st through 25th, $12K. 26th through 30th, $10,200. 31st through 4th is $9K. I remember mentioning this, trying to maybe get time off work to go watch this in person to one of my line leads, and I told him, we were just talking about it, and it was like, yeah, it's like, he's like, are you going to compete? I'm like, no. He's like, I'm not a professional at Apex. I was like, if I was, yeah, obviously I'd be there. But he's like, yeah, you just had to make sure you get time off work. And I just looked him dead in his eye, and I said, if I was a professional at Apex, and it came down to me getting vacation day or missing, I'm fucking missing. I'm like, the bottom line, the bottom fucking player makes $3K. That's more than your freaking bi-weekly check. Get out of my face. I will miss a couple days of work for that. Or a chance to make freaking $500,000. A chance to get my share of $500,000. Like,
even the chance of getting into that top 10 area, like,
yeah, that top, it's boy, get back, bye, out of my face.
No, there's no way.
Like, it's crazy. Some people even think that.
Sounds to me like no matter what, majority of them they're going home with some kind of money.
As long as they don't get robbed by the organizations taking all their fees and cuts or whatever they take. I don't really know what the percentage is or what they agreed to, signed contract, whatever. I know that some of the top orgs, like Optic, like 100 Thieves, like TSM, they let their players keep the majority of the money. So,
yeah,
I imagine that most of these orgs probably do the same. But yeah, I don't know. You guys have any final thoughts, closing thoughts you guys want to get out there before we head on out?
I know that I'm ready to watch some ALGS.
I think this has probably been the longest podcast episode I've had so far. So it's so much more fun to have other people instead of just talking to myself for 45 fucking minutes.
This season, I think, it's been good. Definitely not the best season, I think, but it's been good. It's been good. Can't complain too much about it.
No, I mean, yeah, it's got its little ups and downs, but has its issues just like any other season, but definitely not the worst by far. I'd say somewhere in the middle of the pack.
No.
But,
yeah.
Which, speaking of which, I do have a YouTube video coming out about that here soon.
Well, ranking the first or the best to the worst seasons or whatever?
Yeah, putting them in the SAB tier style format.
Tier list. Yeah, that's going to be good.
I love me some tier list videos.
Got quite a few coming out. I just need to get thumbnails made, but got quite a few of those coming out here soon.
Yeah.
But all right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that's gonna do it for us here at the Double Bubble Trouble podcast. Remember, I am your host, Halon. Big shout out to my boy, Ayo Kezzy, FaZe Maze, and Matty coming through for me today, hopping on the podcast, giving me somebody else other than myself to talk to about this stuff. You guys gonna be joining me for the watch parties this weekend? Hopping back on the podcast?
I'm down.
Some of them, yeah. I'll be definitely
for some of them, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm down 100%.
I love watching the ALGS. That's so fun. It's so fun watching it.
So fun to watch.
So, like I said, more than likely, I'm going to, well, not more than likely, I will miss the first round of the group stages tomorrow. I'll be at work, but by the time the last two come around, I'll be there, and then we will be, shortly after, I'll be doing a podcast episode. So, to give you guys a little bit of preview of how this is going to work, I know it was a little lackluster and a little kind of freaking, let's be honest, it was complete shit last time I tried to do podcast episodes after recapping the day. So here's what I'm going to do to make it a little bit more organized for you guys. What I'm going to do is for every, basically I'm going to go over the end circle. We're going to go over the end circles for every match. There should only be 6 matches between the group play stages. So, total of what? Somewhere around about 24, I think. 24 matches. What we'll have to 24 end circles. We'll go over them briefly, kind of give our thoughts. May not even go over all of them. May just go over the more interesting ones. But that's kind of how we're gonna do this. So, but all right, guys. We'll see you tomorrow in the first watch party of the ALGS World Championships in Raleigh, North Carolina. Everybody have a wonderful evening. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Peace.
Later.
Later.